Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We have another powerful, very important transmission lined up for you today. We are live. It is the 17th day of September 2010. We have our once-a-week visit with Bob Chapman on the economy. And boy, it's going to be a very important time to have him on now with all that's happening. They're admitting that layoffs are at record levels, that the double dip in the housing market has basically begun. Of course, it never really ended. Gold has reached an all-new height after breaking two previous records this week. It's at an all-time high, yet again, breaking the last two previous records. The eugenicists are openly pushing the flu vaccine for pregnant women and saying basically that all the school children need it, even though it's admitted in hundreds of publications like the British Medical Journal and the London Telegraph, the Associated Press. But again, that's hidden in the background, never on the nightly news, that massive neurological disorders, brain damage, Guillain-Barré, permanent epilepsy, narcolepsy, where you just pass out routinely when you're driving your car or walking down the street or watching TV. I mean, this stuff is frying your brain by design. In fact, guys, I know it's in the stacks from a few weeks ago, but will you go back through the stack from about 2 weeks ago? I want all those Rockefeller Foundation documents where they admittedly created the vaccines that covertly sterilize you and brain damage you. We've had more than 10 reports written at Infowars.com by one of our great writers on that just the last few weeks. But when Sherri Tenpenny, Dr. Sherri Tenpenny joins us, I want to bring up some of those issues for her. Because for every 1,000 documents we find, there's tens of thousands we haven't run into. And it's just any time we research, it's all public. They're proud of it. They're proud of how they're sterilizing you. They're proud of how they're brain damaging you. This is not even hidden. Do you understand the magnitude of that? The debate's over. If we bring this information out against them, it's over for them. When we bring the information out about global warming being man-made or even being real, being a fraud, the debate is over. That's why Al Gore gets up there and tells the opposite of the truth and says the debate is over on climate change. It's all man-made. It's deadly. In 5 years, San Francisco will be underwater. L.A. will be underwater. San Diego underwater. Malibu underwater. That's why he's buying, giant houses right on the water. Because he knows the evidence all shows he's a stinking fraud. So he arrogantly claims whatever he wants to, hoping you just shut up and go away. If we move against these people, it's over for them. That's the truth. So we're going to talk about all over the country. School begun, of course, a month ago, and they're forcing children to take a cocktail of deadly shots. That's even better, of course. They then can expand the special ed area with the brain-damaged children and get double or triple or quadruple the funding, federal funding and state funding they would get per pupil. It's a giant cash cow, the brain damaging. The schools are designed to brainwash your children, to dumb them down, to teach them how to have sex, to teach them how to tattle on you, to teach them how to be environmental cult members, and to teach them how to become brain damaged. It's just a beautiful system when you realize how hardcore and satanic it is. And, of course, the average teacher has no idea this is going on. They're just compartmentalizing brain damage like everybody else, sucking down fluoride, popping Prozac pills, drinking large amounts of alcohol, watching television all day, being brainwashed further. Well, I'm done. I'm a wild human. I'm a caveman with a high IQ, and I'm not their slave. I'm not their property. I see what they're doing. I see how brazen and out of control it is. And remember, I'm not up here saying all this to shock you. It's worse than I can say. It's worse than I can describe. It's more brazen than I can even imagine. The more I research, it always just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. If I'd have heard Alex Jones 10 years ago, I'd have thought he was a nut. If Alex Jones would have heard Alex Jones, because I didn't know what I knew now 10 years ago. Okay? And that's what scares me, is it's always 1,000 times worse than I could even imagine. But what we know is unspeakably off the chart. It's all coming up. Stay with us.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator.
Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Calden 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used Pure Soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Calben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
Listen up, friends. This is Alex Jones with key information. The mainstream media is now admitting that we're going into a depression. Don't be dependent on the government for you and your family. You need to get your own supply of high-quality storable foods from efoodsdirect.com. They're the best company out there, the longest continually operating, with a ton of great food to choose from. It's all fresh, made on a monthly basis, not some old cruddy food they're selling you like some of the other guys. Try their new Evacuation Pack, a 2-week supply of delicious, easy-to-fix food. It comes with all the equipment you need to prepare it. With open talk of a strike on Iran in the next 3 months, the crisis in the Gulf, and possible evacuations, get yourself and your family ready today. The place to go is efoodsdirect.com. Go to their website online right now, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or call 800-409-5633. Again, on the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or give them a call at 800-409-5633.
We now take you live
to the Central Texas Command Center
in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
It is Friday. Dr. Sherri Tenpenny joins us. We're going into another round of forced chemical biological lobotomies through the H1N1 combined with a seasonal flu shot. I thought we'd go over all the British Medical Journal, the EU Medical Commission, literally hundreds of confirmed mainstream reports. We told you a year and a half ago what was going to happen with the flu. It happened. The brain damage, the death, the injuries are legion, and they're back with another attack. And they're all over the news saying, pregnant women, you get your shot, when the insert of the stinking vaccine says pregnant women shouldn't take this. Now, that's hardcore evil. So we'll be talking to a medical doctor about this coming up in T-minus 51 minutes from now, and then Bob Chapman on the economy. Speaking of the economy, let me just quickly go over this stack, then we'll mine into the data in the third hour. Gold and silver hit new highs for second time in 1 week. It's actually 3 times, but a good article by Steve Watson up at PrisonPlanet.com. Here's Bloomberg. Gold rises to record on increased demand for wealth protection. Yeah, that fiat paper is getting worse and worse every day. U.S. worker poverty reaches 50-year high, and that's even with federal bookkeepers cooking the numbers. Here's another one, MSNBC, record number of Americans living in poverty. Census Bureau says 43.6 million people in 2009, up near 4 million in a year. So there you have it, up an additional 4 mil in a year. Here's another one. Lost decade for family income. Wall Street Journal. People are getting poor at record numbers, as those last two reports showed. And this is globalism. This is NAFTA and GATT. This is the service economy. And don't worry, they've got even more deindustrialization planned for you. So that's just some of what's coming up on the economic front. And if you think the deindustrialization is an accident, it's stated by the UN, stated by the Club of Rome, stated by the State Department in State Department Memorandum 200 and many others, that the goal of globalism is to bankrupt you. It is to make you so poor and to shut down farms and ranches so you can't be self-sufficient. This is all stated so that you go under government control. So they'll say, we're going to give you a food allowance with a card, but we need to sterilize your butt. And that's the plan, period. And it's finally all over the news. Everywhere I look, but they're saying, is it reasonable what the White House science czar says? He admits carbon taxes are, quote, to deindustrialize the United States. He's been sitting down with at least 4 different media outlets in the last week admitting it. He sat down with Cyber News Service, and we have his quotes. We'll be going over some of those today. And he said point blank, he said, yes, we want a post-industrial United States. We want to get rid of the economy. And he said we're going to use the free market to do it. Of course, that's a lie. They're going to use tax incentives where they're going to raise taxes on industries and businesses they don't like, but then give you tax incentives to basically go with this deindustrialization program. And remember yesterday, we put out the key search term, eco-fascism. And then I noticed today an article out of The Guardian, and it says, an alternative to the new wave of eco-fascism. And this article goes on to basically say, oh, they mean well with tyranny. It's a loving green tyranny. But we have a better way of doing it. So I'm going to be going over that report. It says, by liberating humanity from the compulsion to consume, climate catastrophe can be averted without recourse to authoritarianism. But they go ahead with a lie that climate's changing. And see, now it's not just global warming. They say any change, a thunderstorm, a dust storm, a tornado, man did it. You've got to pay an indulgence to the private corporations, to the central banks. So we're going to be going over that report. And we've also got this other London Guardian report, the powerful coalition that wants to engineer the world's climate. And they say, oh, they want to spray barium salts and aluminum dioxides on the population, spray it into the atmosphere to reflect the sun's rays to save us. And Bill Gates will get billions a year to run these companies. And you notice barium salts, aluminum dioxide is what the chemtrail experts, scientists, environmentalists, others that really studied it going back 15 years ago, they were proven completely correct. They said secret groups with secret government programs are spraying aluminum dioxide and barium salts in the atmosphere to reflect the sun's rays out. But it also poisons the soil, hurts trees and other crops, just plant life across the board. And then magically, 15 years later, it's all over the news. Yes, we've been testing spraying barium salts, aluminum dioxide. It's all for your own good. And just suddenly the last 2 years, we literally have we have just a whole desk of stacks of patents and government reports and universities and Department of Energy and every other major government. They're just spraying 24/7 everywhere. I mean, it's just wild. Hundreds of different programs that were secret that are now partially declassified. They're just wall-to-wall manipulating the weather and probably creating a lot of the extreme weather we've seen as a pretext to sell all of this carbon taxing. And continuing with the Holdren situation, Paul Watson has a detailed report that is up on prisonplanet.com that takes the background info and then integrates it in with all these other mainstream reports about how great it is they're spraying aluminum on you, how great it is they're spraying barium salts on you, how great it is that, oh, there's patents to add it to the jet fuel so the airlines can help without even having to, pay any extra money. The government's got secret programs to pay the jet fuel make